It's time for FaZe to try and bounce back. They have just conceded a devastating loss in the best of one. This time it was broadcast over on the B stream. If you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about, FaZe did just lose to Hellraisers after conceding, of course, a game versus Fnatic. So they're having a bit of a nightmare scenario. No, have I got that wrong?
No, Fnatic lost to Hellraisers.
Fnatic, excuse me. Fnatic have just conceded a loss, and FaZe, of course, previously did fall to Fnatic. So it's a bit of a topsy-turvy world we're living in, and I'm joined by a new face on the desk. We have the Pimp, the P-I-M-P, joining us. Jacob, still not sure about that nickname.
Still not sure about it. It's Pimp, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you were Pip for a while. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
But great to have you here, dude, and on home soil as well. Some Danes,
happy to be here, man.
Danes in Denmark, and we're going to be talking about your favorite video game. This one is an intriguing one because, I mean, Liquid are playing with a stand-in. You're no stranger to Liquid, of course. And I was wondering what kind of insight you can provide into just how this is going to be processed for a team that are coming into a tournament without your full roster, and even then, they've got a new player.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 hours ago, before the Astralis game, I got to catch up with Steve, their manager, my old manager, and he told they've only been practicing 1 day with Zeus. They're still practicing with Steel because they have ECS coming up after this tournament, so that's their main focus. So I guess the mentality going into this one is just like a joker event for them. You know, if they do well, they do well. If they don't, it's okay. They can move on to ECS. So they play with no pressure.
But this is an intriguing one, and Janka, you can attest to this. Teams that have that mindset that he's just referred to, we have a bit of a phenomenon currently in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, exactly. Because, you know, you don't have the pressure on you. You can play a bit more loose. Liquid isn't exactly that type of a storyline because Zeus knows what they're doing and they're still playing like Liquid would play.
Right.
You know, so you can still predict a little bit how they're going to play with Astralis, for example, at Blast. We had no idea how they're going to play, what style are they going to pick. So a bit of a different beast in that regard. And for FaZe, I think it's just a matter of, you know, if they play their own game, they shouldn't have any issues because Liquid, even with their own full roster, I mean, they've had abysmal results against FaZe, 16-5, 16-4 losses. Yes, they had that overpass game in New York, but that was, you know, after FaZe had a huge first half and then Liquid was mounting a comeback and it ended 16-14.
Yeah, and of course Liquid are yet to pick up a win versus this FaZe roster. Perhaps this curveball could be enough, but I think it's safe to say expectations are set incredibly low for Liquid's chances here, Jay.
For sure. I don't think they're expecting themselves, you know. I think this is one of those games where you're going with the mentality that you do your best. If you end up winning, then it's great, right? But what you want to avoid is getting blown out of the water, yeah. You want to feel that you're part of the game. You want to feel that you're ready for the next one, you know. You don't want to lose 16-2 because that's going to be a confidence breaker. But that's like sort of like the mentality you should go in.
Yeah, more so individually. As you pointed out, they're focusing more on ECS, so just, you know, for that tournament, they might potentially meet FaZe again there. So just individually, when you play against FaZe, it's very important maybe for some of the guys, maybe Twist being a bit younger, you know, to know that he can really match up against them pound for pound.
Well, let's quickly go ahead and check out what the map's going to be. Best of ones for the majority of the tournament, of course, throughout the group stage. This round-robin format will be on one map and one map only, and then we'll bring that up. We're going to be seeing our chunks of vetoes. Again, it's kind of difficult to analyze Janko throughout this one. Is there anything that you can say about this one?
Yeah, you're rarely going to see a massive curveball in a best of one. You simply have a big amount of vetoes, and you know, when you have so many great teams, it is going to be a map they're going to be relatively comfortable on. You know, you're not going to see any cobblestones, nukes in this one. So maybe something like an Inferno again for FaZe. I would expect Liquid to try and avoid more strategic-based maps, you know, like Train and Overpass, because someone like Zeus, it's going to be easier for him to play an Inferno or Mirage or a Cache than maybe some of these other maps.
And of course, I mean, an interesting discussion while we do bring those maps up, and we can see, as you said, no Train will be played. It's actually FaZe choosing to remove that one from the pool. It's just that FaZe's project of getting a 7-map pool, they're kind of 6 maps deep already. They're only just steering clear of Cobble at this point, Jacob. That makes them very scary.
It makes them very scary, and it makes it tough. Not only in best of ones, but also in best of threes, you know, moving into the playoffs to veto against them, because you don't know what to expect from them. And that's one of the points Kerrigan made when he assembled this team, you know. He wanted to make sure they could play 7 maps as fast as possible. They kind of burnt their thumb, you know, at DreamHack Malmo, where they bombed out in group stage. But it seems like they found their learning path now, and it makes them scary, you know, especially going into this tournament, but no, only also for 2018.
Yeah, one of the few teams that have actually managed to that can boast that they can play 6, never mind 7 maps.
Yeah, I think the Cobblestone experiment isn't really working out for them
That's
at the moment, but you know, at least being able to float it around in the veto against some of the teams, for me, the bigger question mark for FaZe is Nuke. They haven't played it in such a long time. With the own lineup, it was actually a pretty decent map for them. They were pretty good on it. So hopefully we get to see them play Nuke at this tournament so we can gauge how good they are on that map. If they prove to be strong on Nuke, no real reason for them. What else are they going to veto if not Nuke instead of Cobble?
Absolutely. I mean, currently Nuke was removed by Liquid, and the rest of the vetoes are in. We're going back to Mirage. FaZe had the choice and deviated from between Cash and Mirage. They're going back into Mirage. We saw it previously. Liquid have played it. I guess that's, here you go. Silver Linings Al reporting for duty. Liquid have just played it with their standard, and so they does look like they're just going to be getting ready for this one.
And I mean, it's a great map for them to play because, as Django said, like it's easy for Zeus to come in on Mirage. It's not that strategical. There's not so much he can do differently than Steel can do, for that matter. So he comes in and gets an easy map for him to fall into their system and help them do as best as he can.
And he actually did a fair job of holding his own on the map, right? He was the second highest rated player on the team. And looking at this map, it's just like, hey, can you throw the stairs smoke? Yes. Can you throw the CT smoke? Yes. There's not that many difficult things that he has to do. That being said, FaZe could have also watched the game and see how they like to play. And I don't know, FaZe is just so good on the T side of this map. I really don't see Liquid doing it.
And when you say they're so good on the T side, I'm guessing that's primarily because we're looking at the names, and when they want to open a bomb site, they tend to open a bomb site.
Actually, no. Like the reason why they're strong on Mirage is because this is one of the few maps where they have a lot of set piece and a lot of elaborate strategies, whether it's double fakes or executes in 2 waves. Yes, of course, they also have a default where the individuals can try and make a play, whether it's Guardian with the AWP or Nico perhaps with a rifle opening things up, but they have depth, and CT side is actually their weaker one on this map, which is where they can just blow their opponents out with individual skill.
Glad you added opponents so quickly. That could have got scary. But yes, indeed. And you mentioned about these individuals. Not only Guardian is going to be on firing on cylinders, but it's also fun when you have, when you're a player like JDM, and now you've got an opportunity to show exactly what you've got versus the very best, and you get that AWP versus AWP duel. Maybe we'll get to see it. Mirage does sometimes give us those battles for mid-control. Something to look forward to, and indeed, Liquid fans are going to be biting their nails as we venture into this one. It sounds like the game is ready. The players are sat down, and so are our casters. Let's get back in with the duo. It's going to be Vince and Jason Moses O'Toole.
Well, can they do it again? Team Liquid somehow made it work in double overtime versus Astralis. This is another big test, though, and as they mentioned on the desk, they've always had shaky results against FaZe, and when I say shaky, I mean they've just gotten destroyed.
Yeah, that is true. That definitely is true. But the Mirage performance before did actually impress me. Sure, it went into double overtime. It could have been clearer, could have been cleaner, but they showed tenacity, they showed grit. Zeus didn't seem like he was a huge burden. I don't know. I'm a little bit optimistic. FaZe didn't look fantastic in their first game either.
No, they didn't. They didn't look great. But still, you would expect if there's going to be one matchup that can definitely get manipulated, it would be Zeus against probably the most individually skilled team we have in the scene.
Sure.
So I expect we see a lot of pressure put onto the B bomb site, and it's starting right off the back in Pistol Round. Nitro already used a couple bullets. There's JDM. They've switched things up. Zeus isn't here quite yet. There's 2 kills for Liquid. Third as well. They're holding on to this B bomb site wonderfully.
Only Rain has got a kill, and that means nothing, because Liquid have just swept straight through. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still think FaZe will win this game, but there definitely was shining beacons of light. I mean, Twist in particular, I know I said this before, but man, his CT performance was really, really solid.
He's very good inside that A bomb site. He's actually one of the few players you still see who will commit to the A bomb site as a solo player. He'll stay in the site and play around those boxes, which is kind of cool to watch. Regardless, great pistol round from Team Liquid. Remember, against Astralis, Zeus had the CZ right underneath the balcony. This time they have JDM and Nitro in a bait and switch kind of setup. So FaZe get caught off guard. JDM with the FAMAS peering over the smoke. FaZe has mid control, but they don't have a whole lot of utility to go anywhere after this. Rain is going to use a smoke at top connector. That'll open up Catwalk if they want to do it, but instead it looks like they might just pop flash themselves through the smoke.
It's definitely looking possible. Guardian, though, is a little bit away from the rest of the team. He needs to play with the flash, but he's gone for it now. And Olfmeister is going to reap the rewards. JDM's gone down. It's going to afford them a bomb plant, more than likely. Rain onto Twists. We were talking about the individual talent, and it's starting to shine through. Downside for FaZe is that a couple other players are low, and they only have a FAMAS really to play with in terms of rifles. Liquid still have an incendiary. They have a kit. They'll be okay for the retake if it comes to that, but I mean, FaZe are in a way better position than you would originally anticipate. Now, with pistols, Guardian goes onto a leash, looking for a second one. Not going to get it onto Nitro, who sprays down 2. And now Rain on 12 health. may be able to stop the first player, but as soon as he does, there's a player behind him on short, and Zeus won't even allow him to do that, just executes him, back of the head. Liquid 2-0, but in fairness to FaZe, 3 kills, a bomb plant.
Yeah, and exactly. It's costly for Liquid. They had to really, really fight for that. And you could see some of the danger of this FaZe team just blowing up with those CZs. Almost catches Liquid completely off guards, but a good recovery. Pop flash through the smoke does plenty of damage. So 2-0. And actually, FaZe wants to keep up the pressure. That plant is going to push them forward. They've got 4 UMPs, and this might catch Liquid off guard because Twist and Zeus have invested in the MP9s, which is still a dangerous gun, but you almost feel like they're thinking they're going to be going up against unarmored opponents with this kind of weaponry.
I feel like it's almost double trouble at this point for Liquid. That FaZe obviously have a healthier buy as they normally would with the bomb plant, but also Liquid have just gone through, by and large, their entire investment. Twist has no dollars left. Nitro's down to $150. So FaZe, they can sense that blood in the water. They know that Liquid are weak.
Here comes some flashes. Twist is close up. He's not blind, but he can't get anything done with the MP9. Now they know they're going against SMGs. No one in CT spawn, so this should be a pretty easy plant for FaZe. Trusting in that smoke. There's Nitro. There's a corner that's available for him to peer through, and he finds Olaf. Now it's all onto the retake.
And Nitro and Zeus will look to retake through CT boxes. Rain will be forced slightly out of position as the Molotov connects onto Firebox, aptly named in this situation. And Nade will take him down to 30. Again, FaZe Clan looking certainly weaker in this retake, and, well, they're dropping like flies. It's all on Nico. As good as he is, he's been found, he's been tagged, and he's been fragged by Nitro. A 4K and a successful retake.
Nitro had some huge rounds in that previous match against Astralis, and he's a name that we haven't really talked about because of the performance of Twist as well, but he had a very good game for himself, and he's starting it out fast here. He's at 8-1 in the opening 3 rounds. And that's a big investment from FaZe on that 3rd round that doesn't yield them the results they would have liked. Not enough kills. Because of that, they can't keep the pressure on. It seemed like they were willing to get into that economic fight, that economic struggle, but they've been forced away. So, there's a good nade kill. Twist and Elish combining to find Nico.
Especially considering that Liquid's won the round and they won it convincingly too. It was pretty easy for them in the end. Guardian onto Elish. It's going to be a disappointment for Elish. He just gives away an M4 for free, ultimately, and his life. It seemed a bit needless in the end.
Well, we'll see what comes of it. It is deadly putting this in the hands of Guardian. If he gets 1 or 2 more kills, that can just start to drain the economy. He's going to peek up from underpass. It doesn't look like JDM, or Twist for that matter, is paying attention, but the timing doesn't work out for him whatsoever. Easy kill for JDM. There's one more coming from that same spot. Low HP finds that as well. It's all down to the bomb carrier, Kerrigan. Wanted to go towards the B bomb site. That's a nice shot.
And that could open up B, because the 2 players that are in window won't be able to get there fast enough unless Kerrigan waits around a little bit. There is a player behind him, but I think he should be able to finalize the bomb plant. No, he's playing for the win. He thinks that someone may still be around here. Headshot onto Nitro, and the player in apps, which is Twist, is not going to be able to get there in time. Not only is that a bomb plant, not only is that a minimal investment into the round, but now Kerrigan's in a position he could feasibly win from. Liquid, MP9 and M4 have kits, but they only have a flashbang. They can't smoke onto the site and force Kerrigan out into the open by tickling the bomb. So they're in this for the long haul. This is going to get down into the dying embers as Kerrigan goes for the spray, going to reload for the full 3 bullets, but he's gone down to JDM. And, well, that's going to be the round to Liquid.
Again, another expensive round, though, that FaZe brings to bear. A plant, they get 3 kills as well. So that's somewhat crushing if you're Liquid, who's wanting to build up money in those kinds of rounds against just the pistols, and even switching into the double op setup, an expensive setup to bring out on the defense. Saw this work great for them in overtime of the previous match. We'll see if FaZe can handle it at all. Guardian's got his AWP, which is always a scary prospect to go against. He's not going to peek top mid. It seemed like he wanted to. Molotov is going to force away JDM. He does want to go for that peek over the top of the smoke. When does FaZe pounce? They have 3 players waiting to take mid control. Here come the flashes. JDM spotted one jump over. There's the find out of Guardian. That's well done.
It's looking like JDM was a little bit unfortunate for a second there as the flash was perfectly timed, but does capitalize onto Guardian, so his opposite number is down and out. Carrigan will pick up the mantle with the AWP. It's been a while since we've seen him use the AWP. But here he stands in mid with the bomb. Yeah, and this double AWP setup really was solid for Liquid. It's something they started to utilize towards the end of regulation, and Nitro in particular really shone as his secondary AWP position, showing how versatile he was.
They've switched things up. I'm wondering if this is going to... Oh, no, excuse me. Zeus is still over at the B-bomb, so I was reading the numbers incorrectly for some reason. There's a good pick from Nico, peeking out of Palace. Just goes for the lurk kill, and he finds one. Twist was unawares. Elijah's presence is known. He smokes things off, but the rest of FaZe is coming to this A-bomb site. Nitro is here. This is risky, but he's got to take the risk, and he gets a kill. Goes for the follow-up, and that's Olaf right through the box. And Rain's in perfect position. JDM has no chance there. Something we saw against Astralis is Liquid at times not having eyeballs into window room, into the middle portions of the map. They didn't get punished too much by it, but this time at least they will.
FaZe get on the boards. We'll retrieve an AWP from the round as well.
And there's no money now on the Liquid side of things. It's finally all come to bear. It's the time of reckoning. They really don't have a whole lot they can invest. Looks like Zeus bought an M4 and he'll drop that over to someone. But even with a dropped M4, they can't do a whole lot. So yeah, they're not even going to invest behind this.
Yeah, partially down to the fact the last 3 rounds have been like defusals and they've lost 3 players in 2 of those rounds, but also because they went in for a heavy investment on a double AWP.
Yes.
Which didn't end up working. So Nitro and JDM both lost dearly in terms of their funds, their finances.
Yeah, that was brutal. That switch was an inopportune moment. Either way, see what they can do. Nitro's got the M4. He's going to be holding on to that at the A-bomb site. And this just seems to be the standard default setup for FaZe. 3 players take over mid, 1 player at A, 1 player in the B halls. Let's see what this mid control can yield them.
So far, it's got them control over mid-side of catwalk, and they're looking to get into the ladder room as well. Ali's just underneath, making sure no one can drop into window. But because it's smoked as well, he has to be very careful and cognizant of a potential boost. That being said, Olfmeister's gone on to Zeus, and that's B ripe for the taking, so Alicia's position no longer matters. It is no longer relevant. FaZe Clan will get on B, and very likely will take this round comfortably.
Yep, and Nitro's just got to stay as far away as humanly possible. Here goes Elige. Guardian finds that kill. How much does FaZe want to hunt? Because even if you're the terror side, even though the economy is easier, you don't really want to risk a whole lot of those AK-47s going for some kind of a hunt that's across the map. So FaZe is going to get their second. Still early days here. If JDM's able to get this AK-47, that would be great, but he's going to get checked out by Nico, and that's a swift kill. And Nitro's going to save the M4.
I mean, ultimately, JDM was the player that they didn't matter as much because he only had a P250. Twist has a Deagle, sure, but it's more the Kevlar that he's going to be wanting to hold on to for this next round. And then Nitro, obviously, with the M4. So JDM was sort of the expendable player out of the 3 of them. And now they're still not out of the woods. I mean, they still can't necessarily afford a really good buy, but they're going to go for it. This is going to put Zeus down to a CZ again. We've been there before. It's more the nade count that I think is going to struggle here. You've got Twist on no nades and Elige only on 1.
JDM with the smoke as well, but at least he's got the AWP. We'll see where he goes with that. Oh, Nitro misses the jump. That's dangerous, but he does get away. Just barely burned by the fire. JDM's going to have his AWP in these B tunnels. Baits out the shot from Guardian, grabs a new angle, but Guardian wins it anyways. That's stellar. Payback from earlier. And if they take this B bomb site, if you're Liquid, you might just have to call for a save, especially because Rain's cut off your closest support. You have to take care of Rain if you want any chance of retaking the B site. And actually, FaZe hasn't committed, so there's a chance here for Liquid to get back into this round.
Yeah, they're still not sure whether someone was on B. Maybe even the stack could have been in the back of their minds, but now that they've taken down Legion mid, it's going to open up more options. They could walk into a trap, though, because both Twist and Zeus aren't too far away from this. And Twist has already shown that he has all the angles down when it comes to the A side. He seems tried and tested, the first of which is going to find Nico, looking for a second, and will land onto Carrigan. And Zeus from the backside will dispatch of Olofmeister. This round has quickly turned into a nightmare. Guardian, who started it off so well onto JDM, is now going to come full circle and clutch it out. The downside, though, is that Zeus is behind him, and if he tries to plant for short, he likely will die, so he's going to have to go for twists, who he has heard rattling off shots from the firebox. This would be an incredibly ballsy call if he goes to B at this point.
He's got to run, and the problem with that is I think Zeus would hear him if he ran all the way to the B bomb site, and because now he considered it, he's taken so much time. Oh, and then missed the shot. That was his opportunity. I was going to say Zeus is able to wrap around, get a new position, and get the AWP, and somehow that round falls apart for FaZe. That'll be one when they review the VOD. They're going to look at the mini-map when they were over in those B halls at that B bomb site and just say, I don't know how we went back towards A, but there was no one in the B site that entire round.
I mean, to put it in perspective, that was a 4v2, and Zeus only had a CZ at the start of that fight.
And he's a coach.
Yes, that's probably the biggest part as well, isn't it?
Good stuff from Zeus, performing admirably here as a stand-in. FaZe going to have 4 AKs, the AWP on Guardian. And Twist again, a passive setup at this A site, not playing inside of it, back at Ticket Booth. Elige and JDM and Connector. Does FaZe want to hit this? Nico's had success dueling out of Palace. It'll be a split. 2 players coming mid, 3 players attacking A. Take the attention, and that would allow Kerrigan and Olaf to have impact.
Oh, JDM not too far off on that flick. Oh, it's missed a vital second shot, though. Is that going to cost Legious? Well, it will! Olafmeister turning back the years, landing 2 massive entries. And you can see the importance that makes on planting the bomb. If he dies, the Connector player can just swivel around, stop the bomb plant dead in its tracks, the round's over. As it stands, though, FaZe Clan, they haven't wrapped this round up just yet. This is still open for debate. This is still on the table, waiting for someone to stamp it out and make it their own. Zeus is pushing through the smoke. Guardian, just up on Tetris, is trying to waste time for Rain to make the long rotation round. He's trying to make the Connector play. Guardian will not be missing out a second time, and it may not even be required for Rain to show up because Nico and Guardian have done it all themselves.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That Olafmeister performance is so critical at Connector. The second kill is huge onto Elige. Throws a flashbang and just couldn't recover in time. That's brilliant stuff. And that really forces Twist to be passive in Ticket Booth, which allows his teammates to get into the site, plant the bomb. Like you said, gives him cover towards Catwalk. And also destroys the economy of Liquid. It's down to CZs, P250, UMP on Elige. Nothing to be too happy about. Olaf's going to get aggressive. He's going to turn the corner, but actually, his vision is blocked by his own nade. The question now for Team Liquid is how the hell do you get out? You have to go through the B bomb site. It's going to take a long, long time, and you can see the bomb on FaZe is already rotating through T-spawn back towards A. So again, Twist is going to have a big job to do.
Because they don't have anyone that's playing aggressively up towards the boxes, for all they know, there's actually a player up there. That's why they're having to play slowly through Connector. But now, they're all going to be making moves. They're going to line up, and Nico almost spoiled for choice. There's just too many players around there. The MAC-10, though, should start to reap the kills as Rain tries to get this round back under wraps. But the fact of the matter is that FaZe Clan are trailing by a player, and the positions for Liquid are good.
Yeah, Liquid has put up such a strong defense in this round. They only have pistols. There's Elige with 1. Rain with the MAC-10, but Elige would be a great find. Low HP, and then you put yourself into a one-on-one with Nitro. Here's the peek. Oh, he gives away his position. That's an AK-47 as well. Don't want to battle with that. But now Liquid has a decision to make. Do they want to split up? Do they spread out across the map, or do they both just play at the A bomb site? And it looks like they're going to choose to play both at A.
This does mean that Rain's going to get the bomb plant, and then, sure, he only has a MAC-10, but you've already highlighted that Elige is low. The MAC-10 up close can still shred Nitro too. So you have to think that Rain does have it within him to pull this off. And to make matters worse for Liquid, Nitro's going in by himself, so this could end up being 2 1v1s. This isn't where the MAC-10 is optimal against armor. So Rain is going to just pull back and retreat into a different angle. He's waiting for someone to peek him, and Nitro will oblige. And he continues to just clean up on FaZe. He's been solid from the very beginning.
I like this Nitro, watching this Nitro play. He's been phenomenal. That's smart decision-making as well. When he gets to the B bomb site, he knows he hasn't pinned into the site. And like you were saying, it would have been dangerous if he jumps through that hole and tries to take the duel. But the fact is, he spots exactly where he is and just keeps him pinned into the site while his teammate rotates over. So they both have knowledge of where he possibly could be. and Liquid steal another round away. That was a round where they came into it with all pistols and 1 UMP, and they beat AK-47s. They beat Guardian with an AWP, so nice stacks from Liquid, starting with that kill on Olaf Meister and Underpass. Another round to burn through, though, for Liquid before FaZe would be forced onto some kind of a save.
Just the statistically, if nothing else, even though Nitro's been phenomenal, he's 12-4. He's top fragging by a considerable margin right now, so just goes to show how well he's playing. It is going to be JDM on his own on A, but there is a lot of information that's been gathered as Twist is at the top of mids next to the boxes. Just looking into ramp. He needs some support, and he needs it right now. He's also stuck behind triple box, so there's no escape for JDM. But has he stalled it long enough for the likes of Leash to come in and do the rest? So far, it looks good. Twist through the smoke is going to pick up a double. And Olaf Meister and Guardian, 2 players that are seasoned, grizzled veterans, are going to try and pull this out, but it's looking less and less likely now that Guardian has met his demise to the man that's on form, Nitro.
Olaf was trying to back away to give Guardian a chance to make the play. If Guardian connects that hit and then he holds on to mid control, Olaf has a clear path over to the B bomb site. That would have been a disaster. You could see it almost come to fruition, but not for a great shot from Nitro. Now Olaf in a 1 versus 3. And Elige is in a great position to gather information. He'll have a fast flank towards the B bomb site with low HP, and if Olaf ever starts running, Elige is directly beneath him and we'll hear all of that. We'll be able to pass the info on. 25 seconds left on the clock. Olaf's at least going to get a plant out of this.
I'd certainly think that he's going to at least tick the economy over nicely for terrorists, but he's looking to see if he can get more just beforehand. Now the smoke's down. Elige would have heard that. Call's going to come in instantly. Nitro and Zeus move into position. But Olaf Meister may not be done out this round just yet. Elige is low. 1 bullet will end his life, and it's been delivered first class by Olaf Meister. Going to molly and try and at least cordon off 1 angle so he can focus elsewhere. He's picked up a second. This is now very much a real possibility as Olaf Meister is going to go down to the hands of who else but Nitro, who will get another clutch and another round on the board for Liquid.
Yeah, but not a whole lot of money is building up at all. Now that plant could help FaZe if they want to invest in this, but they're right on the edge. Olaf's got plenty of money, but everyone else is kind of sitting in a tough spot. 14-4 for Nitro now. And this buy into this round is going to eat up virtually all of Liquid's cash. So that might be the deciding factor for FaZe, knowing that they're going to be low, just saying, we have them right on the edge. As soon as we reset them, we can come back and close the gap very, very quickly. We just have to get there. The question is, do they want to risk it all on this round, or do they want to do it later in the half?
We'll just have to wait and see. Still in thought. You can see, obviously, Liquid, massive smiles on their faces, understandably. They've already got 1 win, and they're currently beating FaZe 7-3. And you do wonder how much of it comes back to what they were discussing on the desk, but this event is almost no pressure on them. They don't expect to get that far. They're just playing here and seeing what happens.
Well, certainly, but I think you still, if you're Liquid, have some level of expectations with 4 of your normal players. You still want to come into this thinking you can go deep, thinking you can get into the playoffs. Zeus is brought down low. Over at the B bomb site has a lot of pressure put on him. Olaf with that AK-47 is now getting more and more bold. Smoke's going to block him off at least for the moment, but oh, there's an edge around it. This is going to be so dangerous. They think it's clear. They think that smoke is perfect. And everyone else from FaZe waiting, trusting that Olaf is going to get a kill here.
He nearly did it for FaZe last round. He's already down to sub 50 health, though. He's giving his position away. And with that Molotov, pretty much finalizes the end of any aggression for the time being. He may just go back in again, though. With Guardian getting taken down elsewhere, they could be forced into just an aggressive play and see what happens. Zeus is also low, but they have no nades to play with, so they're all really banking off Olaf Meister getting at least 1 entry so they can just collapse on B side.
Nitro can just get this 1 kill and then hide and lure him right into Zeus. There's the jump down. Olaf's trying to keep the high ground. He does fall eventually. 1 more kill from Nitro, and he gets traded off, but an easy kill for Zeus comes through. Can get the M4 or an AK-47 as well. Nitro's still smiling.
Here comes the big meaty buy, though, from FaZe. It's going to be up for Guardian, full AKs. We've already seen, though, that Liquid could handle that even when they had pistols, so I'll be feeling pretty confident about things right now. Have themselves a solid buy anyway, just the UMP on Zeus, but the rest of the team looking good. That nade has damage written on it, but it's only 19 in total.
This angle from JDM has damage written on it, and actually it might not matter. Double kill for Elysian. There's JDM, perfectly done, and FaZe is punched right in the face. They got nothing in this round anymore. 2 on 5. No damage dealt quite yet, and there's no reason for anyone from Team Liquid to face.
Guardian must just be hating things right now. Every time he has the AWP, it's like he either dies first or his entire team crumbles around him. He hasn't really had an opportunity to pivot off and have a huge impact with this gun so far. And Lee's just neutralized 2 of his players in the matter of a second.
Yeah, that had to have been some timing as well for Elish. I wonder if we can see that combo. Maybe a flashbang or an HE grenade kind of confused the FaZe players. But yeah, especially because that double kill, when he's peeking from window, his Guardian's teammates are FaZe is saying, yeah, peek, he's in the window, he's out in the open, and then you swing out wide and you get picked off by JDM. So great setup from Team Liquid. That's a good flashbang peek, and another one from Nico. This guy just creates opportunities for his squad. He's going to get a third as well, down into a 2-on-2. Somehow he's done it again.
Just a sledgehammer out onto A. Brute force to give them a 2v2, albeit with Guardian and Nico both tagged. They have no nades to play with, and an incendiary nearly claims Nico's life. He's down to 1. If this clutch comes in, FaZe have Nico to thank, but he's going to fall to the hands of Zeus. His position now is compromised. Guardian knows what's coming up. The flashbang is not going to affect him, but he's cornered. He's pincered, and he's going to land the first shot onto JDM. He's round the corner, and Guardian's going to clutch. A perfect timed peek. And he will get a 4th round for FaZe.
Well, you said he is having a tough time finding ways to have impact. Those are some disgusting shots from Guardian. That is great to watch. A huge, huge win for FaZe, all off the back of Nico opening up with 3 kills. And it's no more smiles on Liquid's face now, especially because they're 1 round loss away from being back on the pistols. Essentially 1 round loss away from potentially 8-7 instead of what could have been 10-5, 11-4. So big, big round here for Liquid. Glass Cannon up on JDM. They're running low on utility. UMP on Twist. CZ on Zeus.
And there is Guardian. To start things off, Lee's trying to control his spray, and he will do just fine. He isn't going to get the 3rd. Twist will take it away from him, but he did the bulk of the damage, and wouldn't you know it, FaZe finally win a round. And in the first 30 seconds, it's basically taken away from them. Any momentum is dead in its tracks. Guardian has already clutched 1. He's going to try and underarm the smoke, but Elish is going to pounce on him as well. I mean, FaZe, they just haven't got any consistency so far on this half.
You want to talk about one of the factors that makes people say Elish is the best player in North America. That spray control from basically jungle all the way towards the balcony. That's incredible stuff. To get 2 kills out of that, and even the assist on a 3rd, I believe it was. So, Elish maybe just had a warm-up game against Astralis. He's played well here. Nitro still doing good work. And Liquid just stave off the eco. FaZe now going to try and attack this B bomb site. 4 players in these B holes. Maybe saying, let's go at Zeus. Here come the flashes, the smokes. Zeus sees him. He gets flashed, though. Eats. Really good utility from FaZe, and he can't even take a shot. Nitro left all alone. They're going to jump through the smoke. He transfers over. Pistols out, and Nico finally does the work.
Nice try, Nitro, though. He very nearly got a 3K, which could have been enough. But the bomb's gone down, and FaZe, in one of their worst buys, have a very real opportunity to make it stick. That being said, Nico's gone down. Twist's only down to 12 himself, though. Now Guardian has joined the forefront. Twist trying to spray through the bench. There is a player there. And it's going to be Guardian getting forced down, but the CZ, his trusty sidearm. He doesn't even need the AWP. The look on his face says it all. He's like, how the hell did I survive that?
Look like he said, oops. Not bad. Yeah, it didn't seem like Liquid was really committed to that peak around the bench with the USPs. Either way, nice win from Guardian. Big win from FaZe. Zeus getting caught out by the flashbangs through that smoke. And now again, desperation from Liquid. They have the pistols. They have one FAMAS on Nitro, UMP on Twist. Everything else is just pistol. They've won a round like this before. Surely it's not likely they can do it again. And
Wow.
Rain's here.
He just spun around.
That had to have been a dirty transfer to see.
I would love to see that, but that looked ridiculous because he was aiming at the right-hand side and just suddenly the second player died in a heartbeat.
It did. Just ragdolled. Either way, FaZe looking like they're going to get up towards 6. Looked like it was going to be a pretty dominant half for Liquid, but FaZe did just enough down the stretch. As crazy as it sounds, as good as it looked at certain points for Liquid, they really only had one. I think there was one stretch where they actually had their economy like built up beneath them, and then I think FaZe did such a good job of keeping it low this whole time.
It just seems like on both sides we've had these individual moments of brilliance from the likes of Nitro, Elige. Obviously, you've also got Guardian's clutches. Olofmeister's had a couple of key moments in the likes of Connector, Nico. Even that clutch that Guardian picked up earlier, it all came off the back of Nico's work from Tetris. But still, Liquid will be in the lead regardless of what happens at the end of this round, and it's looking like that will go to FaZe unless Nitro can pull off something spectacular with the FAMAS. But that won't be happening today. 9-6. I think, strangely enough, FaZe will be relatively happy with that because it could have been a whole lot worse.
Especially considering they lost the first 4 rounds of this half. They were going to be very happy with that, not winning the pistol. They looked extremely focused down the end, not going to lose anything. Good half from Liquid, all things considered. 9-6, still doing work against some of the world's best teams, even with Zeus playing as a stand-in for Steel. We're going to head to a halftime break. When we return, we'll see if FaZe can close it out. If they can come back, we're going to see more excitement out of Nico. Stay tuned.
Nice! Nice!
Second half begins now between Team Liquid and FaZe. Nitro for Team Liquid at 19-8 for a first half scoreline. That's not too shabby. They'll need more of that if they want to hang on to this tenuous lead. Pistol round would go a big way. Vince.
I mean, by anyone's standards, 19-8 first half is phenomenal. That is a hell of a half of Counter-Strike. And yeah, if they could pick up this second pistol, FaZe are in serious trouble.
Oh, here's the brawl. Here it comes. Twist wasn't ready. He's going to force FaZe back. Twist around the corner, gets the headshot, goes into the site, gets one more. Sacrifices himself, exposes himself to danger, but gets the kill. There's a gap in that smoke. Guardian, he somehow manages to make it work. Into a 3-on-3, although Liquid keeping up the pressure, pushing towards CT spawn. It's Kerrigan here. He turns the corner. There's one. Flashbang gets both of them. And Guardian wrapping around like a shark. He's trying to find Nitro. There's the double peek coming out. Guardian's winning them all until Nitro pounces.
Well, Carrigan, what can you get done? Nitro has the position, he has the bomb planted, and he has the kill. Liquid have picked up the second pistol, and that goes a huge way towards them picking up this second map. I mean, they've already got a win. FaZe are already on 1 loss. Imagine FaZe went 0-2.
That'd be insane, wouldn't it? Nate, the reason why people love Twist is that pistol round right there. That is such an experienced play. Those are the kind of plays where you see like young, inexperienced people just kind of not get it. Like just exposing himself to all the danger in the world, taking the risk, getting out onto the balcony, taking the fight with the player in sight. That's really, really cool to see.
2 scouts, FaZe, wanting those long-range confrontations. Carrigan with one of them, but he's going to miss. That costs him 2/3 of his life.
I mean, 1 scout is Kerrigan and 1 scout is Guardian, that's fine. And then you have Nico with the Deagle, which is essentially like a mini scout. So once you start getting these tags, especially with the CZs, like it just makes it so much easier. It's basically just cleanup kills all across the board. Problem is, you have to hit shots of the scout.
Somehow I knew that was going to come up. It's all well and good, but if Carrigan can't hit...
You've got to tag somebody.
Yeah. That being said, Rain is going to play up close with the CZ. This could be a round-winning moment for FaZe if he can tee off. Zeus is going to get joined by another couple of players, though, one of which is going to be a Liege starting to push through on Palace. And now Rain's going to be in play, but Zeus is going to check it and will bag the kill. Oh, Nitro with a headshot onto Guardian. And actually looked for a second that was Zeus on a drive-by headshot, but it won't be. But he will get the second onto Nico. What is happening here? Liquid's in prime position to strike again and go 11-6 up.
Would you look at that? Well, Olaf with the flank. There's the CZ going for range against Elige. Seems like he still wants to keep the pressure on, see if he can get 1 more kill. Twist is going to recover the AK-47, and now everyone backs off. Olaf Meister dips out. Kerrigan with 11 HP doesn't want to take any more fights, and Liquid's going to be happy with what they've got. I have no reason for Zeus not to hunt. All he's got is the CZ. There's Olaf Meister, who wins that battle. Still, it'll be an 11th for Team Liquid.
Absolutely. And Olaf Meister's not going to take a weapon out the round. It's just an upgrade to his ZZ, and he's not even going to take that. His head has been caved in by Twist's AK-47. Carrigan at least will save the scout, and I would expect to see him drop that to Guardian. I would be pretty surprised if he kept that.
It is just a scout.
True, but wouldn't you rather have that in Guardian's hands?
I don't know, there is like some weird thing where I feel like Oppers often don't like the scout. I don't know why I feel that way. It's just the way I feel, Vince.
I'm sure there's plenty of Oppers that feel the same way as you.
Well, it's going to be mid-presence and aggression from FaZe. 3 USPs, the P2K, and the aforementioned scout still in Kerrigan's hands. Elige is going to open things up with a UMP kill onto Nico. That's from Palace. He's even got good damage on a Guardian. But all the meanwhile, Liquid is going in towards the B bomb site, where there's nobody from FaZe here. Rain hears him from Market and just backs off. No reason to give over any of the bonus money.
Absolutely. They know there must be at least an Act 10 or a UMP in play. And Carrigan is going to land a scout shot. So there we have it. Will that bait them into something more? Very unlikely. Just sat in positions where they can maybe rattle off some more kills from. Carrigan's at spawn. In fact, pardon me, that's Rain.
He doesn't want to give money over the Mac 10. Now, I think Elige, actually that's JDM, might actually go try and chase that down, because the bomb's going to blow up, so he's kind of pinned. Rain's missing some shots. Here it is. That'd be great if he could get it, but no. Rain comes back into himself. Olaf has got a UMP, but another round for Team Liquid. So this is a big round in the context of this whole match. If Liquid's able to win this one, this first gun round that FaZe has, they have a commanding lead into this. It's still all smiles on the Team Liquid side. We'll see if that stays true.
And the downside for FaZe is if they win this but they lose weapons, they're still in a horrible spot. Liquid with double orbs on the T side. Zeus with the second of them. Isn't something I was expecting to see, but let's see if it works out for them.
Maybe a misbuy?
It's very possible.
I can't imagine this was the game plan. Either way, we'll see.
I mean, the thing is, you'd think, well, Nitro was using the second AWP on CT, but it's obviously a very different ball game. You know?
I haven't frequently seen Liquid go for double op setup on the T side of Mirage, so I have to feel like this is some kind of an accident. Maybe Zeus offered to buy the op for JDM, and JDM had already snapbot one, so they just have two.
These things happen. That being said, they seem to have their target painted on B, and there is only Karrigan there with the UMP, so he actually not only there, but he's there with the weakest of the weapons, though he is using it up close, which is where it's at its most prolific.
And he's at least got a Molotov to slow things down. Smokes over towards the B bomb site. Nitro leading the way through underpass. Spots Guardian. That might give a hold on the cheat towards the B bomb site. That nade didn't go where he wanted it to, but a lot of information being gathered. I believe that's by Olaf Meister on Catwalk. He hears all these footsteps.
He's peering into connector, but maybe for a little bit too long. Nico will make the most of that. AWP dropped out in the open. Not able to get their hands on it just yet, FaZe. But Nico's going to try and establish some domination, some kind of play in mid. It's going to cost him dearly. Nitro just from behind, from underpass. He will get traded out afterwards, so FaZe are at least keeping themselves in the lead. 13 seconds to go. And Liquid have just got to sprint straight for the site. They can't afford to stop. Rain on CT boxes can do what he can to stop this plan. It's on the opposite side of the box, but now in goes Olofmeister. Not able to keep the bomb from being planted, but they are cleaning up onto the rest of the terrorists. And Olofmeister has a kit, so he could try and defuse in the smoke. JDM may not realize it. Goes for the shot in the first place. 1 HP left, and Karrigan will finalize the frag with the UMP. So FaZe, they have dodged bullets quite literally, and pick up the round, keeping the AWP in the hands of Guardian.
It's not going to be great money, but it is good that they salvaged that AWP from JDM at the end. I'm not sure what that tactic was from Team Liquid. They used all their utility at the B bomb site and then just kind of bled players as they transitioned back towards A. First Zeus on Catwalk, then Nitro in mid, and they didn't have any utility for the cross. I mean, first thing, they just had to win a straight-up duel towards jungle as they come up the A ramp, but after that, you have nothing to hold back the CT spawn retake, you have nothing to protect the planter from Catwalk. Pretty lucky to even get the bomb down in that situation, but definitely wasn't going to be able to hold on to it. So 12-7, Liquid still have FaZe right where they want him. Potential reset. Big round for FaZe moving forward. Like you said, do not want to start this group 0-2. I think coming into this this round of matches, I think it was FaZe, Fnatic, and Astralis were all placing bottom 3 in the group. It was Hellraisers, Luminosity, and Liquid at the top 3. So things are getting weird here.
A little bit.
And Odense up.
Opposite roles. And just an update on the second stream. I think it's 9-6 at halftime to Luminosity, but here comes the play as FaZe going to try and repel this push from Liquid. Weakened vibe is going to include Galil's, which Elite is going to put to use before he's found out. But now an AWP has already traded hands. JDM is going to try and use it. Guardian at the back of CT box has been flashed out, but Nitro's not able to make up the ground fast enough to punish him. But it already looks like FaZe are on the back foot.
Oh, this is going to be dicey. JDM's got the angle as well. Picks off Karrigan. I think that's the call for FaZe to just save it. They cannot afford to lose these weapons. Like I said, they have no money. This is basically a reset. Olaf's going to try and help his teammate get out. If Zeus can get this kill on a Guardian, that would actually be a huge deal. All down to 19 HP. Zeus still at 100. He's going to chase that down. He's looking for it, but I don't think he's going to get it. There are a couple players here in market. Guardian's not going to expose himself, though, in the site. He's also protected from Catwalk. So Olaf finds one consolation prize there at the end. And actually, that's pretty big. That's the op for Liquid. So, cool.
It is going to be Guardian able to save an AWP of his own, but I mean, again, FaZe Clan, they're able to save weapons, they're able to just about scrape together buys, but they're still 6 rounds behind. There's only 3 rounds between Liquid and winning this game. So, you know, saving's not enough anymore. They've got to start to convert these rounds into victories.
Yeah, they really do. There's only so many more like silver linings you can get essentially at this stage in the game. And Nico finds one. There's Rain with another. So nicely done so far, but Elige is the X factor. He's put himself in a great position. Time for him to make a play. You said he was quiet earlier against Astralis. There's a big opening kill. There's only one player, Guardian, at this A bomb site. If he misses a shot, if the timing's not with him, he might just go down for free, but he finds the kill. Elish still doing damage in the middle of the map. Guardian's got to do more. Flashbang out, he turns away, and he does find another. Guardian is on point in this round with 2 kills. Elish, the only one left. That's a nice headshot. Making it expensive at the very least.
Crosshair placement was absolutely perfect as well. Didn't have to move his crosshair whatsoever. He's going to miss out on that shot, but still has time to back away and just get the plant down. If nothing else, even if his team lose this round, they've got a decent lead. They've got the economy ticking over. That Molotov not far off from extinguishing his life. But Elish, with already a 3K, is on for the clutch and the ace. Not going to happen. Nico will not allow it.
But again, costly. And Team Liquid, meanwhile, getting plants. The extra bonus money. 3 kills, even though that the AWP is still in the hands of FaZe. They haven't been able to take that away completely. They can still buy into this. They know they've got him on the ropes. 1 reset, and FaZe could just lose straight up after that. So 13-9. It was Nitro in the first half. He was, what, 19 and 8, I think? So he's quieted down a little bit with only 5 kills into the second half, but it's Elish who stepped up to still make these rounds dangerous for Liquid.
Definitely. And that's always a great luxury to have for a team. If one of your players starts to go off the boil a little bit, if one other, steps up to the plate and burdens that weight, and you will be good to go. Being said, though, FaZe, they're down, but they're not out. They've shown time and time again this is a resilient bunch of plays. And Olaf Meister's going to come in with a double spray. Carrigan with 1. Only Nitro's answered back, but make that twist as well. Albeit on 12 health once again. It feels like he's been down here so many times. Zeus on 16. Between the two of them, they have basically no health at all. And now make that literally no health. Rain with a double. And FaZe Clan claw themselves back to a 4-round deficit. It will be an eco for Liquid as well.
Yeah, it has to be. They didn't get enough damage done onto the FaZe. They didn't get enough kills, only 2. They also didn't get that plant. So sit this one out, 13-9. You still have a lead. Likely take a timeout before that next gun round. Come up with a plan, talk things over, figure things out. Because you can see there, they're trying. It started to feel like Liquid's kind of trying to get a little bit gimmicky with a lot of contact plays. That towards the B bomb site. And up towards Catwalk, just kind of a straight-up rush, and Olaf is able to spray down 2. Previously towards the A-bomb, so we've seen him do some contact plays. So get an idea in your head of what you actually want to do, because at this point, FaZe has enough money in the bank to be able to handle those content plays. They have the utility to smoke off the choke points, to flash, to nade. They've got the M4s. So now you got to come up with something real to throw at FaZe.
Sick round by FaZe as well. It's kind of glossing over it. It was an eco, an easy eco bash, but losing no players means that they're not quite in the same position that they once were, where an easy reset was on the cards if they were to lose. Now they've got a little bit of bank to play with. And in this round, it's not going to be anything too spectacular either. Liquid only into CZs and Kevlar. So FaZe actually in a position where they could just straight up get us back towards the 13-13 or so scoreline here.
Deja vu, you say?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, all 5 players towards the B bomb site. Guardian could get caught off guard. Oh, he sees the leg, the missed shot though. This is actually dangerous. Kerrigan's here for backup, thank God. There goes Guardian. Kerrigan's still holding strong. Again, economic damage is the name of the game at this point if you're Elish. Not able to flick down, not able to control it. 13-11. Team Liquid still in the lead, but it's dwindling fast.
Yeah, like Guardian needs to reach across the table and give Carrigan a fist bump for that, because he really got him out of jail on that occasion.
If Carrigan wasn't there or missed a shot or something, it would have been, the conversation then turns to why is Guardian making this kind of a play at this junction in the game.
It was ballsy and it very nearly backfired, but it didn't. And now Liquid, after 2 rough buys in a row, are able to rummage together an AWP. I mean, Nitro has enough to go for a secondary AWP, but as we said before, it would be a bit surprising. AK-47, I would assume, would be on the horizon.
No, yeah, don't do it. Not on the T side. You want that ability to change things up, to be versatile in a lot of different situations. No need to have 2 AWPs. That slows things down massively. Not to mention, Nitro's rifles have been on point in this game.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it will be double AWP for FaZe. Carrigan takes the second over Nico this time. And JDM with his lone AWP is trying to peer into a ramp where there is a Molotov, so he's not going to get to see anything for the time being, but now goes for the peek. Guardian comes round and he flicks back down. I thought JDM had just timed himself as he looked towards the staircase. Rain is going to be in position to deliver some serious pain, but the flashbang's not going to be there for long enough to allow him to get any frags. Now Liquid are just steamrolling over FaZe. They cannot do anything to stop this.
Twist through a little bit of a wet noodle of a grenade. Here's Elige on the flank. Just biding his time. He knows exactly where Kerrigan is, and he's not even going to get there in time. Nitro takes him out. It's just down to Olafmeister. I mentioned that they might have to do something not so gimmicky. The only reason they pull the trigger on kind of coming up ramp in that kind of a fashion is because they get that pick on the Guardian. And once they get the pick on the Guardian, because the common setup when an AWP is that aggressive is there's an M4 close as well to help protect. Rain just could not recover in time. A great pop flash. He misses his initial shot, and JDM still holding the angle for the second player of backup from FaZe towards jungle. Great round from Team Liquid. Here it comes again. Everyone towards the A-bomb site.
And this time, Olafmeister has a second AWP. So they're all sharing that duty, maybe just based off spawn.
Everyone's an opera these days.
Yeah, everyone apart from Rain's had it this game. And, well, Liquids say, screw you double ups, we're just going to rush straight into A, no nades needed, now we're going to throw them in, now we've already got so much room that's ours. Guardian can't see anything, he was in his sights for a while, you're wondering if he was going to pull the trigger, and he does. We'll get him a kill. Nico this time is going to come through with 2 kills, it's looking a whole lot better for FaZe. A complete turn of fortune compared to the round prior to this. JDM's still alive, but not for much longer. Much better from FaZe.
Bummer for Elige, because I mean, if he just crosses into the site, he gets away free, but he stopped to throw a nade. That's where Guardian got him. So Liquid can't string 2 together. They go for the uppercut again. 14-12, still FaZe staying in this match. The double op setup has been a very difficult thing to handle for T-sides. Back onto CZs. This is a half investment for Team Liquid. They've got money in the bank. That's a good tactic. Double nade somehow doesn't do nearly as much damage. I think the little cross beam kind of ate up a lot of it. It seemed like 2 nades landed right on him.
Yeah, and I think it was only the 3rd nade that did damage. That was so strange. But either way, it is going to be FaZe Clan as anticipated, pretty much having their way with Liquid. They have already got 1 kill, so maybe Liquid can make this a bit costly. Maybe scare FaZe a little bit, but yeah, this really should be a 13th for FaZe now.
Oh, that's a pretty impressive one tap, all things considered. Nice shot from Elige, going for more, but not ready for Kerrigan on catwalk. FaZe are almost there. They've made this comeback happen.
Looks like Olof will continue to be the secondary AWPer. Last round was pretty solid, having Nico with the M4. And the round prior to that as well. In fact, he had an AK, I think, last round, so he picked it up.
I'm interested to see what Liquid's going to do in this round because well, they've gotten some rounds off contact, off of fast and aggressive play styles. It doesn't seem to be too consistent, but it is back to the A site again. And FaZe is pretty much prepared for this. Nico is at the top of connector, Rain and Guardian inside the A bomb site. Just been have a lot of attention from Liquid on A, and therefore FaZe responds accordingly. No one coming out of Palace as well for Team Liquid over at A.
Just Elige to try and get into connector, put a cat amongst the pigeons. But that smoke may very well have Liquid stall a little bit longer, which is allowing Elige to make more inroads into connector as it stands. He's not looking into short, and I think Olafmeister may have just thrown that incendiary out as he saw Elige peek him. Unfortunate timing, but he's not punished himself. Nico is going to put his M4 in for a kill. Rain, Firebox unable to really get anything to stick onto Team Liquid. And again, A site is ripe for the taking. The only downside is that Olafmeister is still holding it from short and no one smokes him off. He's got 2 kills already. Guardians came in with 1 as well. And now Nitro, as good as he's been in this game, is asking far too much. Guardian will put him out of his misery. And FaZe are even once again.
Yeah, Liquid didn't have the utility. That one smoke from FaZe at the top of ramp was so perfectly timed. It stalled out the smokes, the execution, the hit from Team Liquid at A. And once they eventually do kind of jump through that smoke and come through it, they have no more utility to block off Olaf. And because Elige couldn't clear him out, because that was a fight he couldn't win, Olaf just gets free reign and saves the day. That's very nice from FaZe. These double ops really, really being deadly now that you're at a situation where Liquid's buying, but they don't have all the nades that they really, really need. They don't have the Molotovs to flush people out of position. They don't have the smokes to block off every choke point for the entire hit. This is where the double op gets even more dangerous. And actually, it looks like they've switched out of it as well. Olaf's going to go back to the M4. So 4 M4s, or 4 rifles, I should say, for the FaZe side of things. And then the AWP on Guardian. Liquid again is going to be back on pistols, and then one more time they'll have to claw for overtime.
I feel like this could be just FaZe knowing the economic situation for Team Liquid, and they have played aggressively a couple rounds when on pistols. If you have 2 AWPs and you just suddenly get rushed off of an entire 5-man unit of terrorists, things can get a little bit sketchy, especially if it's accompanied by flashes and smokes. So FaZe maybe just adapting their play style and reacting to what Liquid have coming at them. That being said, it's going to be an aggressive peek, and Nico a bit too confident in that time. He's going to see 3 players and dies to Molofmeister, perfect spray, double headshots on Elise and JDM. And although Nico's life was lost, it seems FaZe will still cruise to a round win.
Yeah, cruise is the right word, Olaf. That's great spray control mid. Good finds, couple of headshots. Touched on a lot throughout this game in particular is the economic status of each team and how much these kills are meaning. At this point, obviously, that essentially means nothing. One more round going to be after this one, so even if Twist were to get 3 kills, it wouldn't really matter a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. He sees this gun. Can't hit it. Going to duel with Rain instead, and he gets dropped. One more chance for Team Liquid. Surely they cannot pull out a miracle twice in a row.
What a comeback this has been from FaZe, though. They were completely up against it. They lost the second pistol.
They're on an 8-1 run.
Yep. Exactly. And if you extend it a little bit more, it's 10-2.
That's not bad.
So this second half, keep in mind the second half started with them 3-0 down. They lost the pistol in subsequent next 2, but since then it has been pretty much all FaZe. So they came back from, I believe it was, what, a 12-6 deficit?
Something like that, yeah.
Not bad at all.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is I think Liquid did the same exact thing against Astralis in the first map. So just tasted their own medicine. Now they get to feel the other side of the coin. Back into the double op setup. Guardian has his at ticket booth. Rain inside the A-bomb site. Nico in mid. Olaf's going to have an op at B. Kerrigan's there to support.
But it is slow. I mean, you can definitely understand why Liquid are taking their sweet time with this round. Everything hinges on it. They lose this, they lose the game. And whereas Liquid have got to win, remember it was in overtime. If FaZe were to win outright here, they'd have more points than Liquid. They'd actually jump above them in the leaderboard in Group A. So if nothing else, Liquid just want to take some points away from FaZe.
Well, by the way, just to drive another nail home, I think that's the same thing that happened to Liquid at Oakland, was they had so many overtime wins, but not enough regulation wins. So even though they technically had more wins, they didn't get the points needed to move on. This format could come back to haunt Liquid. Twist and Elise over towards the A-bomb site. Nitro, Zeus, and JDM. And the later stage of this half, Liquid is relying on a fake to make this work. Twist and Elise going to execute towards A, make presence, try and find kills. They have Rain and Guardian to contend with. Nico is already cheating over. Olaf otherwise has stayed at B, especially with that kill. Now Olaf's going to wait, and he finds one. That's the bomb. It's been called out. They'll rotate back. Liquid is just losing players. Olaf still alive with the AWP, taking shots. JDM's got his teammate, though. Olaf's got to hang on a little bit longer, and he's done it. Now just needs to buy time. 20 seconds left in the round. JDM's going hunting, and he's gone. It's Elise in a 1-on-3, and he's not going to be able to do anything. Nico closes it out, and FaZe gets the victory. A brilliant comeback, and Liquid is left wanting right at the end.
You've got a feel for Liquid there, because that map really was in the palm of their hands, and they just let it slip out at the end. 12-6 in the lead, looking like they're in cruise control, but hey, take nothing away from FaZe. That's a fantastic comeback.
Yeah, it was. I mean, brilliant game. I think it ended up being something like 10-2 run to end that game for FaZe, which is incredible. Liquid could never find an answer for that double op setup. That haunted them for the entirety of that second half. Basically, that's really tough. So Liquid will look at that, and they'll have to go over the game plan specifically against double ops, because they need to be able to turn the tides of that one. Oh, hello, back on cam. How'd you like that, Vince? Almost had another overtime.
Yeah, Actually, yeah, that's a good point. We've had 3 overtimes so far, if you count the double. That nearly was a quadruple.
Yeah, I think everyone loves an overtime. You know who else loves overtimes? The desk. They love overtime games to start the day. We're going to head over to the boys at the Xfinity Analyst Desk now.
The Legion post-match breakdown.
Thank you very much. Yeah, excuse me. Premature there. Happens to everyone sometimes, but not always. I'm joined by Jacob and I'm joined by Yanko, and we're going to be trying to put this one under the microscope. It's going to be FaZe coming back and a much-needed win, Yanko. This is where we have to start by saying, like, FaZe, had they conceded that, Liquid, they've got nothing to lose. FaZe, this is a huge tournament, huge prize pool, but also huge expectations set upon them.
Absolutely, and also the fact that they managed to close it out in regulation and not go to another overtime. You know, we've had so many overtimes in this group already that actually edging out in regulation might be what's the difference maker in the end. And you can tell that, you know, despite FaZe being the favorite here, there are no easy games. You can see how Liquid was going for that loose play style on their T side in the second half. They were just exploding onto bomb sites and trying to, you know, catch FaZe by surprise. And they did a good job of doing so initially, but then once FaZe got their economy going a little bit and got that double up that Jason was mentioning, that's where Liquid kind of hit a brick wall. Yeah, that brick wall is what I want to kind of investigate with you, Jacob, is the fact that we did just see Liquid disappear. It was looking so comfortable, so set. It was like, okay, well, I guess FaZe are going to have to try and win every single game in regulation. But, I mean, what can you help us understand how something like that happens in a server where FaZe just suddenly managed to walk away with, was it 11-2 or something in the end?
I think so, yeah. You kind of combine both factors, you know. You have FaZe always playing a good CT side on Mirage, and you have Liquid always struggling a little bit on the T side. Talked to, again, the manager Steve out here between the game, and he said, like, they need at least, like, 10, 11 rounds on the CT side if they want to have any hope of winning this one, because they're not comfortable in the C side, especially having Zeus as well with you, you know, that doesn't help at all. So I feel like Liquid did what they could, and as you said, like, as soon as FaZe got the money going, as soon as they got the momentum going, it was like, there was no really way for Liquid to get that one.
Okay. It was a great chance for Liquid, considering they won both pistol rounds,
exactly.
Right? I mean, that's what Liquid. It's a requirement for them, basically a win condition to win both pistols. That gives you a bit more room for mistakes, you know, early on. But still, they couldn't capitalize on it. And FaZe did try to help them out in that first half, losing a couple of silly rounds. Not only the 4v2. That was a good gamble from Liquid to stack both players towards that A bomb site. They managed to somehow set up Crossfire despite being in a 2v4 situation and win a very, very important round. But for some reason, you know, FaZe was going for a lot of contact plays themselves, trying to, you know, brute force their way in. Every time they would actually go for a proper execute, even in that half buy with just pistols towards the B bomb site, they would end up winning the round. So I think that's an adjustment they needed to make sooner.
It's one of the problems, though, when you have FaZe, you know, because you saw Nico in one of the rounds just walking in on the, I think it was A bomb side, just clicking 3 people in the head. Like, it gives them the, like, sort of like false confidence that this works, you know, we can just do this every round, but which you can't, right?
That was not like 2v5 or something, you know. That was, again, like them being behind initially and then needing a hero play like that to get back into the round.
And hero play is indeed what they've managed to do by winning in regulation. They have managed to secure themselves 4 points in total after, of course, their loss in overtime versus Fnatic. So that puts them joint first in Group A as it stands. They have 4 points, and that's, of course, tied with Hellraisers, who managed to pick up a regulation time win in their game. I believe was it on Cash? I mean, I didn't quite get to catch that. It was on the secondary stream.
I think it was on Inferno.
Inferno? Oh, that's right. Okay, Fnatic went back to Inferno, where they did just find success and lost to Hellraisers. So we'll be seeing more from them. That's been going down currently, actually, on your secondary stream. You get to see more from them. We do have an interview ready, and I'd love to go ahead and check this one out. Stunner is standing by. He has grabbed a victor, and we get to hear a little bit what they have to say after a big and much-needed win.
Well, I grabbed a victor, not to be confused with a victim. I thought I heard victim. I know that wasn't quite the route there. Anyway, we've got FaZe coming in hot. Obviously started off a little bit slower today. Let's talk a little bit about that matchup to kick things off.
Yeah, we were happy that it was Mirage. We could choose between Cash and Mirage, and we saw how they played against Astralis. So it was a hard game in the beginning. It was back and forth. We had many tight rounds, and today it feels like we win the rounds we shouldn't win, and we lose the rounds we shouldn't lose. So I think that's the bad thing about today, but hopefully it'll be better tomorrow.
Well, I mean, even going into this matchup against Liquid, right? So they're using Zeus. It is a stand-in. Does that change the preparation at all? Does that change how you guys go into the matchup itself?
I mean, it's hard to prepare since we don't know what maps they're good on yet with Zeus, and we just go out what we can see. We saw how he played B on Mirage, so we had a kind of feeling of that map. That's why we went into it. So we had some kind of tell how they play. Besides that, we always like to play Liquid, but it was harder than today than it was the other times we played them with their full lineup.
With the full lineup, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. And then I think they throw in that sort of X factor, right? It's kind of hard to know what to expect. Seemingly can't really research something like that, correct?
Yeah, it's like when you saw Astralis at the Blast, it was the same thing. You don't know what maps they're good on. There you had the Veto done before, so you knew they had practiced those two maps. So it's hard when you're playing best of ones, you cannot pinpoint where you should go because they can practice 4 maps and be ready for this tournament. And other than that, so we would just play our own game, and that's what we did today.
Well, you say Astralis. I mean, that is your next matchup. Looking at this, though, you guys are a heavy favorite coming in here to basically take the whole thing away. Where do you stand now, though? What do you say to the crowd?
I mean, we have had slow start. We had that as well in the Blast. We could have gone to the final there, but we didn't. In the last, maybe lost 16-14 to Astralis. So we have some bittersweet revenge we want to take back, and hopefully we can take the win tomorrow, since that is going to be important. If we win the rest of the games tomorrow, we should be first in the group, and that's our goal.
Well, you do have Astralis coming up. That is going to be your next matchup, and certainly could have your work cut out for you. Either way, good luck going forward, and I'm going to give it back to the guys at the Xfinity Analyst Desk.
Thanks very much, Trace and Carrigan there. Lots to be discussed, actually. An interesting point is that he said he found this more difficult to play against than Liquid with their full roster. Yanko, help me understand that, because I mean, I can't help but feel I would rather play against Zeus.
Yeah, from an in-game leader standpoint, you hate unpredictability, right? You rely so much on preparation, being able to make reads, and nowadays in Tier 1 Counter-Strike, you know all your opponents like relatively well, some more than others, but at least you know the general style they like to run. And when someone plays with a standing, that adds a dose of unpredictability. As Carrigan pointed out, Astralis at Blast, they had a great run playing with a stand-in, so that makes you a bit uncomfortable, right? Because the things you would usually call, maybe that's a bad call now against this particular team. So in that sense, yes, on the other side of things, they're not going to be as regimented, or their teamwork is not going to be at as high of a level, so that eases things for you a little bit.
So I guess closing thoughts with you, Jacob. Sigh of relief for FaZe fans, but also we're not necessarily certain of what their fate is, if their fate is sealed for tomorrow. They've got Astralis tomorrow, LG, Hellraisers. Coming into this, you'd think this is a guarantee now. We get FaZe through the group stages.
Yeah, by no means I haven't been impressed by FaZe today. They haven't looked good, you know. It's like we need to see some more from FaZe, I feel, and we also expect a lot from them going into a tournament like this. We talked about we want this SK FaZe final. We want them to win the second Grand Slam title as well. It's like there's a lot on stake for them, and for now we haven't seen the level of FaZe that can actually go on and win this tournament. So I feel like Carrigan in that interview as well, like he knows they're not on top, you know. So saying that, you know, it's sometimes easy to play against a guy with a standing, you know, that's like putting away a little bit of the pressure, you know, and then come back in tomorrow, recharge, regain, and hopefully in the FaZe that we know.
Yeah, come back tomorrow. That is exactly what's going to be going down for FaZe now. They are done for the day. We, however, are by no means done. So much more Counter-Strike coming for you guys at home. We've, of course, got FaZe starting the day tomorrow. They'll be playing versus Astralis. But coming up next, we get to see some more fantastic Counter-Strike. We get to see Fnatic roaring versus LG. Join us after the break as we see what the Brazilians can do on the mainstream.
Nice!
Stairs. Nothing great ever happened without a witness.
Oh, you guys saw that?
With the power to capture comes the need to share.
Check